Good morning, students. Please close the door. In our last class, we discussed about types of transactions, two types of transactions. One is capital transaction, and the other one is revenue transactions. We discussed elaborately about this. What is a capital transaction? What is a revenue transaction? Now to recap the last class, I repeat the discussion in a very answer. Capital transactions, the transactions which occur once only and the benefit of which is enjoyed for a long period of time. Clear? What is the revenue transaction? Revenue transactions are such transactions which occur repeatedly, which occur again and again. Right? In a year, number of transactions take place. Such type of transactions are called revenue transactions. The benefit of revenue transactions are enjoyed over within the current accounting period, or in other words, we can say the benefit of these revenue transactions are exhausted within the current accounting period. Example of gave that capital transactions, purchase of machinery, purchase of land and building, etc. Right? Capital. Once only. We do not buy machineries. Any business concerns, they do not buy plant and machineries every month for the production purpose. So they buy once only, and the benefit of that machinery or that expenditure is enjoyed by long period. Now, revenue transactions. What are revenue transactions? Sale of goods. Sale of goods. Payment of salary to staff. Payment of electric bill. Payment of other office expenditure. Selling expenditures. Right? All these type of transactions, they are called revenue transactions because they occur repeatedly. Alright? So, we can in short, we can say that capital transactions are non-recurring in nature and revenue transactions are recurring in nature. It will occur every day or off and on, again and again, repeatedly, recurring. So this is all. Now the other one, the other type, the other transaction, a very small part was presented because of time. Anyway, the other part is, today I am discussing that, deferred revenue expenditure. Deferred revenue expenditure. In case of capital transaction, I told you that transactions are every capital and revenue transactions are of two types. Capital expenditure, capital income, revenue expenditure, revenue income. This we discussed in the last class. The small part which was left because of our time period. Right. So that is deferred revenue expenditure. Now the question is, what is this deferred revenue expenditure? Now some business in business concerns, in case of some business concerns, it is seen that sometimes they spend a huge amount on some account. Say for huge advertising, they spend a huge money, or a heavy repairing of plant and machinery or any other thing, building repairing charges for building, heavy repairing charges. Now, the heavy expenditure, if we show this expenditure in the current accounting period, it will affect the profit or loss of the business. Okay. Either if the expenditure is huge amount, there will be a loss instead of profit. We while accounting will show this, if you show this huge amount of expenditure in a single accounting year, in a particular accounting year, in that year we cannot show the profit because of that very. So what is done is, what is wise is, the expenditure which is incurred, a huge expenditure which is incurred due to, for heavy repairing or heavy advertising expenditure, that expenditure is spread out for a period of years, say for 5 years. Say we have spent rupees 1 lakh, rupees 1 lakh for repairing, or whatever it is, maybe between 1 lakh and 15 lakh, 50 lakhs, whatever it is, heavy expenditure. Okay, so it is not expected that in a year only for repairing purpose we can be paying rupees 10 lakhs of rupees, right? And if we show this 10 lakhs of rupees in a final account, what will happen? The profit will reduce. The profit will reduce because of this expenditure. So what we do is we spread this out over a period of 10 years, right? 10 years. So our annual expenditure under repairing of plant and machinery or advertising, whatever it is, our annual expenditure will come down to 1 lakh. Now, for the next 10 years, we will show this expenditure as 1 lakh for the 10 years of time period. Okay. Now, by doing this accounting, we will show this 1 lakh to PL account, profit and loss account, and rest 9 lakh, n minus 1 lakh will show on the balance sheet on asset side. As if we have not spent it, we'll show, if we show it on the balance sheet, in the balance sheet on asset side, it will give us the information that it is not spent, so it is asset. If you are not spent, where the money will be kept? In the asset, either as cash in bank or cash in hand. So this 9 lakh will be shown here for the first year. So 9 plus 1 10 lakh. Adjusted. The same way, the second year will show 1 lakh to PL account, rest 8 lakhs in the balance sheet on the asset side. This way will go on. This is called deferred revenue expenditure. Actually, this is capital in nature because we are spending once only, right? But the benefit we are enjoying for 10 years. It is like capital, it is like capital expenditure, capital nature, but it is known as deferred revenue expenditure because advertising expenditure, repairs and maintenance expenditure, these are not capital transactions, these are not capital in nature, right? Such expenditures are called revenue expenditures, and as this is a huge amount, we are deferring the period. We are deferring the period for 10 years, so it is called as deferred revenue expenditure. Is that clear? That's fine. Now, so these are our part of the syllabus is completed. This part completes here. Now we'll come to the next part of the chapter. Final account. The other parts perhaps you have done in your class 11 syllabus. You can remember. Final accounts for a trading concerns, not A. Final account for trading concerns. This is another chapter and our today's chapter or topic of discussion. Final account for trading concerns. Final account. This term it tells us that it is the annual, the final accounts. That is, it is prepared at the end of the financial period. That is why it is final. Final. After this, no accounting, no results will be certain. So this is called final account. Now, the trading concerns, they do this accounting in 3 steps. What are the steps? Number 1, the first step, they prepare one trading account. The first step, trading account. Number 2, profit and loss account. These two are two accounts, part of final accounts. The trading concerns prepare. What is the object? Anybody can ask me that question. Sir, why should we prepare, or why is the trading concerns to prepare these accounts? The answer is to know the final results of the business. What is the result of the business? As students, result to you, the result means the report cards. Here, these accounts are the report cards. For whom? For the concern. Right? What these accounts will give us? They give us the trading account. They will give us the amount of gross profit or gross loss. This is the result of this account, trading account. Right? Gross profit. Now I'll come to discuss about that gross profit. What is gross profit? How is it calculated? How is it ascertained? We'll come to that point. And what does this profit and loss account? In short, we call it as PL account. This means that I told you that portion of the deferred revenue expenditure for the year when it is spent, we show it in the PL account, that is profit and loss account. Profit and loss, PL. In short, we call it as PL. So, what profit and loss account is going to disclose for us? The net profit. Net profit or net loss of the business. We are doing business. Concern is doing business. It does not mean that it is going to earn profit every year. It's not necessary. It may suffer loss also. Okay. Anyway, so profit and loss account, net profit and net loss is asserted through profit and loss account. So these are the two steps what the trading concerns prepare while preparing their final accounts. This is the final result of the business. Now coming to that point, what is gross profit and what is net profit or loss? How is it calculated? Gross profit. I'm writing the short form, PP. How is it calculated? Profit means some income minus expenditure, right? So how do we earn income or business concern earn income? by selling goods. So we take the total sales of the business, total sales for the year, not per month. If the total amount of sales or total amount of goods the concern has sold throughout the year, take the figure minus sales return. That is, when we sell goods to our customers, it is not necessarily that all the customers what they have bought from us. Right? Take the example of or think about our manufacturing concern. They have produced many goods. They have supplied to their different wholesalers or clearing and forwarding agents, CNF agents, right? Through them they distribute the goods in the market, right? Now, it may be that some goods they have found are damaged or damaged in transit. Some are not according to their specification, what they specified to the manufacturer, to the producer. So what they will do? They will return those goods to us. Right? Suppose we have sold goods to the 10 lakhs for a current year for the year. Out of these 10 lakhs, say goods worth rupees 25,700 have been returned by their customers, that is manufacturer's customers, that is the wholesalers or the clearing CNF agents, clearing foreign agents. They have returned goods of rupees 25,700. So, what is your sales for the year? Net sales. Net sale is 9 lakh 74,300. Make sense? Nine lakhs 74,300. This is your net sales. So now to ascertain the results of the business, and one more thing is to be kept in mind that we are going to ascertain the true results of the business, true result, exact result, true gross profit or true gross loss. Now, if we do not deduct this amount from the total sales value, our result will be false, will not be true, correct? Isn't it? Because we have not sold this amount of goods. Manufacturer has not sold this amount of goods in the market. They have it there. Goods amounting to this. So we should deduct it. We should deduct it. As accounts personnel, we should deduct this from the total sales and we should get this net sales value. This is this part, net sales. So we need net sales. So here we can write it as net sales. So how do we calculate net sales? Sales minus sales. So we need net sales to ascertain the gross profit first. Minus the same way total purchase goods we bought during the year, total purchases minus purchase return. Now we also bought certain goods to resell. we buy goods from the market to sell. The small business, that is the very concerns. What they do, they buy certain goods from the market as retailer from the wholesalers and sell it out. So while buying, they may also get certain damaged goods or the goods which are not specification as per their specification, but they will return to us, to the seller, to their seller, and to them it is called purchase return. What they purchase, they return now. It's called purchase return. Right? So purchase minus purchase return means net purchase. So take that net purchase. And here we need certain things. We need expenses, certain expenditure related to purchase. These are three ideas. Now net sales minus net purchase plus expenditure purchase will give the gross profit. Is that clear? Up to now, this much. This is not finished. We will discuss it in further elaborations in our next class. Okay, thank you very much.